Hey everybody out there, today for you guys we are going to be doing a deck update of a deck that I've thoroughly enjoyed playing throughout the years in different incarnations, in different ways. I've always just had a little bit of love for this deck, even though there was one point in time that I did really hate this deck, but over the last few months I have been rarity bumping a lot of the cards in this deck. For the most part. So, without further ado, let us get to the deck update of my Spellbook deck, or Silent Spellbooks as I call them. Now, there's a multitude of different ways you can play this deck I have seen. You have Silent Spellbooks. I've seen people use different engines in this deck currently. But me personally, the way I like playing it, I really enjoy playing with the Silent Magician with the spellbooks. It just works well together. It's been a thing ever since Silent Magician came out, and it's been used in Duel Links, but I just like the combination in real life, and it's always had a lot of success for me just in playing with friends and just testing against other people and taking to little local tournaments. It's been functioning pretty well. I cannot wait till we get the Spellbook Link monster, which will definitely be helpful to the deck in some way, shape, or form. But let's get to the deck profile. First, we have our two High Priestess of Prophecy first eds. Love her. She is Bae. The one reason I even got into that back in the day doing Dragon Rule format, that this was probably one of my favorite decks out of the two, between Dragon Rulers and this, was because of this one card. Because I love the artwork of this card. So I'm very happy now that I have two secret eds, for, first ed ones from back then. Thank you to my friends for helping me get them. One of them I've had for years. The other one I got from a good friend of mine, June. So yes, very happy about it, but definitely a 2 of in the deck. Some people like 3 of it still, but I just prefer 2 of. Next we run our 3 Blue Boy, which is awesome. Sorry for, saying, I'm just happy I have high rarities of these finally, just like my old Vermeil deck. It's just so cool. It's been nice to collect the pieces. But yes, let's stop talking about that now. But yeah, 3 Blue Boy, you guys know what it does. Searches for all your spellbook needs. You can use it with Rudra, pop this, draw 2 cards. Multiple different ways. If need be, you can normal summon this, get your search off, get what spellbook card you need, tribute to special summon out your Silent Magician girl, which is amazing. So you can, normal summon search, pitch to do this with the Silent Magician. There's multiple different things you can do, but yeah, 3 Blue Boy. Next up, we run 3 Temperance. Now, there's multiple different builds of spellbooks out there. Some versions I've seen run World still. Some versions do not. Some versions do not even run Temperance anymore. But me personally, from playing the deck, I really like Temperance. Though it is susceptible to hand traps and things of that nature, which is one of the reasons I run Call by the Grave to stop hand traps, because things like Ash, Drill, and Effect Veiler are very effective against this deck. But still, Temperance, I feel, is just the best way of doing it, because you can either A, tutor out High Priestess of Prophecy for doing things, for popping cards, or you can bring out D-Mock from the deck, which is something I've been trying out in the deck and I thoroughly enjoy. So there's one of 2 ways you can go about it. But I definitely like the 3 Temperance of Prophecy. Next we got our 3 Silent Magician girl. This girl has gone up in price. She has gone up in price at the time of me making this video. I think she's like at $20 or something a piece. I picked these up ages ago, because as well as the Silent Swordsman, as you guys know, Silent Heroes. So I've had these for a while now, but they've been very useful to play. You get a negation. She can get really big sometimes, and she works the best in spellbooks because of spellbooks draw power and everything, and how much they can have a big hand. And she's going to gain 500 attack for each card in your hand, so usually she's going to be 2,000 to 3,000 attack usually when she comes out, or more, depending upon the situation. And then if she dies, well, guess what? You get to bring out the big one, which is your Silent Magician level 8, which just pretty much says no, it can't be targeted by spells. So if they try to Widow Anchor it or something of that nature, nope, Not going to happen in this negate spell, so that's nice. So overall, I really like this little package engine in the deck. Next up, we run our 3 Wind Witches. We run our Wind Witch engine still, which I really like in the deck. This helps you go for Crystal Wing, and the fact of the matter is as well, I feel like this also just helps for Silent Magician fodder. Now, yes, you cannot go for Silent Magician and Crystal Wing in the same turn because the Magician Girls state that you can only go for wind monsters this turn, which does suck, but Crystal Wing backed up by, you know, some good spell cards is pretty good, because the Crystal Wing backed up with Spellbook of Fate, I mean, that's not the best board in 2019, but that's pretty good in some respects. And then next turn, maybe you can go for a Silent Magician, or having a Silent Magician backed up with the Magician of Faith, you know, Spellbook of Faith, excuse me, that's pretty good. Not amazing, but it's pretty nice. And I really like that. And then if these guys become dead, what you can use them for is to go into your other dragons, which is something like you can go into Clearwing Synchro Dragon, depending upon your matchup, or you can use these individually for helping for the background noise. But you can also use it to go into normal summon it and then tribute off to special summon Silent Magician if they're dead in your hand, which is nice. So you have multiple uses for this Wind Witch engine, which is why I really like it. Crystal Wing, Clear Wing, fodder for Silent Magician, Rudra plays. You get this where I'm going with this. Then we run the 1 Dark Magician of Chaos. This is something that I had talked to people about, and I decided to play test it. And instead of always just going for High Priestess of Prophecy and running triple High Priestess of Prophecy or the World Prophecy card, I decided to go with the Dark Magician of Chaos, which, yes, it does activate during the end turn, which does suck, but it's just such a good card and so useful in this deck. So I decided to go with one of these and the 2 Priestess of Prophecy, and I've never looked back since that. I really like that ratio. You can try different ones out if you want to, but that's what I like. Next, we run our 3 Spellbook of Secrets. This is your your searcher of the deck for all your spellbook needs. This is the one thing you're probably going to see Ash the most next to Blue Boy and Rudra, but you definitely want to run 3 of these bad boys to stock things. So definitely run 3. On to your other ones. There are 3 Spellbook of Knowledge, aka Rudra, which I've been referring to, which was the original OCG name, but definitely 3 Spellbook of Knowledge, your draw engine card of your deck, which is amazing. Always been helpful since this card came out as a definite staple 3-of. This is something debatable, which I've been talking about people, but I like it as a 3-of. 3 Spellbook of Power. Some people like it as a 1-of, some people like it as a 2-of, some people, you know, like it as a 3-of. There's different ratios I've seen, and personally, though, I like it as a 3-of in the deck. So that's just me. But you can definitely play around with the ratios of this card. I'm not paying the $50 to get the high rarity version of this, though. Definitely no. If it comes out as a super at any time, yeah, I'll definitely do that. Next, 2 Spellbook of Fate. You definitely want to run your 2 Spellbook of Fates, guys. Definitely a good card. I've seen a couple of deck profiles recently when I was just researching the deck to see if anybody who's trying other things out since I, you know, originally built the deck. I've seen people run 3 of this recently. I don't know. I wouldn't suggest 3. I like 2 of. It's up to you though. But I prefer 2 of Spellbook of Fate. Next, we run 1 Grand Spellbook Tower. You can easily search this out to get it on the field, set up and going. Some people run 2 of it now, I see, and then terraforming and things of that nature, but me personally, like I said, 1 Spellbook Tower is all I really need. 1 Spellbook of the Masters, which is really good. 1 Spellbook of Life, which is really good. 1 Spellbook of Eternity, you know what it does. 1 Wisdom. Some people don't even run Wisdom anymore, but I do like the Wisdom. It does come in handy. 1 Stall Hall. I've been debating about cutting this and this for double Ash Blossom and Joy Springs, but at the end of the day, every time I do that, I'm like, I'd rather have these guys because they're just so versatile. 1 Spellbook of the Crescent. I was debating about running this as a 2 of in the deck, but I decided at the end of the day to run it as a 1 of. Yes, you can't activate Call by the Grave, which is kind of a downside, but we'll talk about more of that in a second. But if you get a brick hand, Spellbook of the Crescent can help you out that hand. And if it's dead, you can use Spellbook of Knowledge to pitch it and draw 2 cards. Now, I was trying 2 of it in the deck, and I eventually came to the conclusion that it was going to be a 1 of in the deck at the end of the day instead of a 2 of. So you can play around with the ratio of this card as a 1 or 2 of. Some Spellbook players like it as a 2 of, some don't like it at all. Some people run it as a 1 of. I'm playing with the ratio still of this card because it really helps unbrick your bad hands. Crescent does. It really, really does. It saved my bacon many times. And 3 Call by the Grave. Now, I cut Ash out of the deck because this is what I found. Call by the Grave, I was more susceptible. This deck is very susceptible to hand traps, like I stated earlier. Your Ash, Drill and Lockbird is a pain in your butt. And Effect Veiler can be a pain sometimes as well. So, to combat that, you want to have Call by the Graves in the deck. So I decided to go with 3 Call by the Graves, no Ash, run with consistency, and I haven't looked back since, and I've liked that maneuver. You can definitely run Ash in the deck if you can find the space. But that is 40 cards in the main deck, so let's get into the extra deck very quickly, which you will mainly go into the extra deck for Crystal Wing. And we'll talk about some other things here. So we got our Field Center, our waifu card. So we got Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, and Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Then we got Wind Witch Ice Spell. We got some Linky Boys. We got Cerberus, Phoenix, Unicorn, Summon Sorceress, Borload, Bull Sword, Utopia Package, Tornado Dragon, Exciton Knight, and then lastly the Phantom Knight of Breaksword and Dante. Like I said, this is just there in case you need to go for them. Okay, you're mainly going to use the Synchros for your Wind Witches, and people are going to ask me, well, why don't you run, Pot of Indulgence and things of that nature, because you really don't use your extra deck, and then you could run multiples of cards to do things. I'm going to say this straight up, because you could run Indulgence if you want to, but I don't own the card personally, and from playtesting, the deck doesn't need it, and I would rather not run it and then run multiples of the card. I don't know how to think about it. Like, yeah, you can run it, it's a draw 2, but at the same time, it's come in playtesting online, it's come to bite me in my butt a lot of times. So, because you're somewhat reliant on the extra deck and not completely unreliant upon the extra deck, you can play around with Indulgence as you wish. But yeah, I just wanted to say that 2 cents in. And like I said, there's different versions of the deck out there that I've seen. Different people run different versions, and that's perfectly fine. But this is the version that I've enjoyed playing personally, and I've had success with. And I really enjoy it, and I can't wait for more support to come out in the future. But definitely go Spellbooks, my favorite deck doing Spellbook Dragon Ruler format, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Until next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling. Hope you enjoyed this deck profile. If you like this video, please support the channel on Patreon, and I'll see you guys next time.